Hi, it's Romola. Oh, that caught me unawares. Then I've not done a live on YouTube, so I wanted to come on and do something a little bit different. That's why I thought I'd come on to YouTube and do a go live here, because at this morning I run a monthly free book club in my local area, which is Newport, Shropshire, and the theme for this month was emotions. So we all went away last month. And just sort of revisited some of the books that we found really helpful around managing our own emotions, books that have come to us, just or done some web research. And so I wanted just to come on and share some of the books that came up. So the books that I took along with me, I took 4 books along around emotions. One of them is the Louise Hay Heal Your Body book. And if you've not looked at this book, it's really well worth a look. It's a fabulous book. What it does is it lists ailments, so that you can see this, but we've got the problem here. So it's an alphabetical A to Z of what your illness or ailment or pain is, and location, what that means, probable cause, and also the new thought pattern. So it's basically positive language that you can use to help yourself rid this. So if we look up, there we go. Maybe there's anxiety I looked up earlier. So look at anxiety. Can't spell anxiety. There we go. So anxiety, the problem is not trusting the flow and the process of life. And the affirmation is, I love and approve of myself, and I trust the process of life. I am safe. This has got things. Let me just have a quick look at. So there's cancer, for example. Cancer is deep hurt, long-standing resentment, deep secret or grief eating away at the self, carrying hatreds. What's the use? That's the problem there. And then the positive language is, I lovingly forgive and release all of the past. I choose to fill my world with joy. I love and approve of myself. So there's some lovely ones. Carpal tunnel syndrome. We have anger and frustration at life's seeming injustices. And it's, I now choose to create a life that is joyous and abundant. I am at ease. So there's lots of, everything's got, it's got flu, it's got emotions, it's got lots of different physical, but also some emotional things. And I find this book really interesting. Perhaps not so much when I'm in the pain and in the issue, but afterwards, then I'll have a quick flick through this book and say, oh, right, okay, let's see. Okay, that makes sense, because actually I was, for example, feeling a lot of anger around that issue. So that's why it's coming up. So it's a really useful book. Great fun. It's one of the first books that Louise Hay ever wrote. And it's just a really practical way to look at the body and what messages our body is trying to share us. Because I'm a great believer in the body knowing everything and having all the answers. And this is a way to tap into that information. So that's Louise Hay, Heal Your Body. Now, alongside, similar to that, is this one. It's called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, and it's by Carol Trueman. Now, this one was one that's come up through my aromatherapy that I've been doing. And it's a brilliant book, because what it is that we all the emotions that we ever have are stored in our body. They're stored in some of them are in our limbic system, some of them are in our chakras, but basically all the emotions that we've had, we store. So if we've got negative emotions, things that have happened, that we are storing those in our body in some way, and this can cause the issues that come out here. So this one is, I've been told that I'm holding a lot of anger in to my solar plexus, sort of in across the liver, because the liver is the place where a lot of anger gets stored. So this book is really interesting to understand what's going on and how to get it shifted and get it released. So that's what I find very interesting here. So it talks a little bit about vibration, and that's always a good thing. So the back it says that She not only tells you why you feel the way you feel, but how these feelings all started. She then goes on to tell you how you can easily transform undesirable feelings so that they no longer hinder your growth. So it's a really interesting book. So that's Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, and that's Carol with a K Trueman. So, and they link really onto my other two books, and these are about emotions and essential oils. So I find that essential oils, they work very much on a physical level, but also on a mental and an emotional level as well. And different essential oils have different effects. Some are very uplifting, some are very calming. And so this book in particular is a great one. And this lists it by essential oil. So we have, so cardamom is for confusion, depression, grief, resistance, and frustrations. And again, there's some affirmations there. Frankincense is about fear, shame, disappointment, insecurity, and self-doubt. So geranium is about loss, disappointment, fear, depression, and mistrust. So it tells you, and it says geranium soothes a broken heart and powerfully releases past baggage, helps individuals who have lost hope in people and the world around them. Geranium reminds the souls that the world is mostly good and most people have good intentions. It also brings up pain of the past so that one can work through old emotions and begin to see all that's good. Geranium may be combined with clary sage to bring hormonal balance, thus mood balance, to women during the menopause. Combined with lime oil if you're working to release deeply rooted emotional wounds. So it's a really lovely book. This one is Emotions and Essential Oils, and it's by Rebecca Hintzer. She's written some awesome books on happiness and again essential oils. Very practical, very easy to read, very easy to look up anything. I think it's got an A to Z at the back as well. She does doTERRA essential oils, so she's got information about the blends at the back as well. Obviously using their different names. Just trying to see if she's got an A to Z of. She doesn't look like she's got an A to Z of emotions, but I might just have missed it as I'm flicking through. And she's created this little diagram here, which has got happiness, love, strength, value, peace, and in the middle we've got some negative emotions of anger, egotism, fear, sadness, guilt. So you can see which ones you might want to work on. So it's a really nice little book. This one is a few years old. It's 2 years old actually, so I'm going to be getting my updated one. Again, it's looking at essential oils, because essential oils, they're amazing. They're a gift from nature. So here, each tells you about each oil. So lime is the oil of zest for life, and tells you how it can do is it can help clear congestion from the heart region. In fact, we were just talking about lime, weren't we, in here as well? So it's quite funny that it lands on here. Maybe I need some more lime in my life. It cleanses the heart, especially when there's been an accumulation of emotional toxins that have been avoided or repressed. Again, it's going back to that feelings buried alive, never die. And it can help with grief, thoughts and feelings, discouragement, apathy, etc. So it's a nice book to have a look at and see, and this one does have an A to Z of issues, so you can look up the emotion, and then it gives you, one or a few different essential oils that you can then look up and just see which one is the one that's calling to you. The thing I love about essential oils is they're like a pattern interrupter, if you like. So when you are having these emotions and it's very easy to then spiral downwards, but what you need is just something that's going to flick you and be able to get you out of that. So if you're recognizing that actually this is where I am, I need to change this. If you've got an essential oil, so this is my tangerine, which is my uplifting blend, and this is my anchor. So when I smell this, it really is going straight into my limbic system, straight into my emotional response, and it's lifting me up and having that emotional effect on my body. So it's a really quick thing. I don't need to do a lot with essential oils. I just need to open the bottle and literally just have a little smell of it. I could rub it on my body, so if it's a particular chakra or a particular area of my body that's affected, then again I could apply it to my body as well in that way. So I love essential oils, as you'll know, because I So I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate. So I talk about oils all the time, but also within my business, I use them all the time as well. And there's at the moment, there's 3 on my desk that I can see, plus a hang thing with some in as well. So love oils. Now, this is another book that another lady brought along. This is a Doreen Virtue book, written alongside Robert Reeves, and it's called Angel Detox. It's a brilliant book because it says taking your life to a higher level through releasing emotional, physical, and energetic toxins. So we talk about toxins quite a lot, don't we? When you think about it might be cleaning products that we're talking about. It might be washing things. It might be food toxins, so thinking like gluten, sugar, alcohol, caffeine, etc. But also, again, these emotions, when they're coming up, they're a natural reaction that the body wants us to cope with. Our body is a natural body reaction with these hormones, but if we don't disperse them, then they're just going to sit in our body. So things like stress, that hormone is going to sit in our body, because if we don't do something to get rid of it, so whereas we used to have it and we do the fight or flight, so we'd get the adrenaline, that would put us then we'd then be able to run, and we'd literally run off the end and burn the hormone through our body through running. But obviously, if we don't do that, if we're sat at a desk, we are not burning off those hormones and allowing the positive hormones to be created instead, and it's just spiraling. So this book is really nice, and I was reminded of how good it was today because it's got lots of practical things in it. So yes, it does talk about detox and vitamins and detox diets, but detox your emotions. So it talks about different things that you can use to detox your emotions. So we've got there's a prayer, there's angels you can call to, Archangel Michael's spiritual vacuuming, essential oils, aromatherapy diffuser, aroma baths, journaling, herbal teas, exercise, calming crystals, flowers. I think they've got rescue remedies, flower essences as well in here. And there's lots of lovely things. There's also ones about healing, financial concerns, universal checks, money exercises as well. So they're really nice. So it's a nice book. Again, it's written in, it's probably about, I think mine's about 5 years old, I think, maybe. Yeah, 2014, 2015. This came out. Let me just see. Oh gosh, this is so many books I can't actually see when this one's. It's probably about 4 or 5 years old, but it is a really lovely book with lots of practical information in it. So that's another nice one. I'm just going to get my notes out from the group. One of the other books that was shared was one by Claire Weekes, and that's with 3 E's, and it was called Self-Help for Your Nerves. It's a very old book, but it was very practical when the person was sharing their story and how this book came to their hands. Really powerful, and it's really interesting. And the things that she was talking about in the book were very practical ways, again, for you to move out of that sensitivity, those emotional, when you're feeling when you've got your spikes up, when you're on a nervous edge, then it was tools to support you through that. So that was really interesting. And another one that came up was a web article called 10 Reasons Why People Feel Lost in Life. And that was really interesting. So we've got things there about not being connected to your heart, not trusting other people more than trusting yourself. And I can't think of the other ones, but there were really things that we do all the time, giving our power to other people to make decisions and actions, and believing what other people say rather than trusting our own responses. So there's lots of different books out there. So we chat for, it's probably about just over an hour. So we meet on a second Monday of the month at 10:15 to 11:30. Like I say, we are in Newport, Shropshire, but I also share information on my Facebook page, which is @Romolo101. About books. So, and we just, although we go with a theme, and we all had a book or a blog or something that we'd found inspiring or interesting, But it's the talking around the subject, and that's what's so fabulous. It's actually being in a space where for an hour you can talk woo woo, you can talk angels or guides or connections, and just feel really connected to people that really understand the world that you're living in. And that's what's so amazing about the book club. So it's actually run, I'm listed in Cygnus Review, and there are lots of different Cygnus Review book clubs all across the UK. So have a look either on their website or definitely at the back of the magazine. But if you search Cygnus Review and book club, I'm sure it will come up and list all the ones across the UK. They are all free, I think, unless they've got room rent to pay. And usually, they meet in a cafe and you buy your refreshments from there. So it's a really great way of meeting new people, but connecting as well on an energetic level with people who are interested in similar subjects. So last month we looked at oracle cards, and we all brought in our favourite decks, and that was interesting just to share the decks and have a look at them, do little readings. The previous month we looked at law of attraction. And next month we're going to look at energy as well. So that's an energy can be anything. It could be vibration, it could be Reiki books. There's a whole host of different ways that can go, and that's what's so lovely is it's just one word or a theme, and then we share around that. So what I'm going to try and do some kind of virtual one. So I don't know if maybe do a Facebook group or a Facebook live that gets some interaction around books as well. You don't have that sort of thing that you get when you're all around a table, and the information it flows very readily because you've got obviously one person driving it if it's in a virtual space. But it's an interesting concept, and I highly recommend wherever you live, if you look up for Cygnus Review Book Club or Spiritual Book Club, MBS, Mind Body Spirit book clubs, and if there's not one around, you can set one up because it's a really fab way of allowing your connection to grow and expand and to trust and to learn new books. I mean, I'm going to go off and have a look at I hadn't read this one for ages, so I've got that one back off the shelf, so I shall have another read of that one and the pages that fit me. I shall have a look for Claire Weekes, perhaps see if there's anything else out there, and I shall go and download this 10 reasons why people feel lost in life, and I will share that into the group as well. So if you've got any questions, then please pop them in either my YouTube channel here, or come across the Facebook page, which is Romula @Romula 101. I also have a couple of different free groups. One is Create Family Calm Club, which is for mums, obviously with children who want to talk about things, and that's that could be very spiritual as well. It's very practical. But I also have a women's, so I run an online and physical women's circle for a spiritual journey as well, which is great fun. Love that. And so if you're interested in that, that's £10 a month, and I will share a link in the comments so you can go and check that out as well. But definitely come over to the page, come and interact with any of the things there, and I shall see you soon. Bye.